Hey, you doing everyone? Greetings, and I welcome you back to the basement. So, it's been quite a while since I saw you last, and the reason it's been quite a while is that I had to rewrite a fair bit of the Super Shooty Aliens code, especially to do with aliens firing missiles on screen, because I had them shooting the missiles down the way and it was working really well. And what I had wanted to do was to make them kind of fire horizontally across the screen, and I hadn't put a provision for that into the missile table, or the alien missile table that I set up in the code. So I kind of had to strip out that table and redo that code. Now, for an experienced programmer, that wouldn't take long and it wouldn't be a big job. But for me, it took me pretty much 2 weeks. And I tried a few different things, and in the end, I kind of stumbled across something that worked for me and I went with that. And it's working well now. It's working well. But when I got back, or when I got that done, I had kind of had it up to my teeth with programming. So I took a week off of just reading books and looking at YouTube videos. And when I came back into it, I still didn't really feel like programming, but I said I'd create title screens. So that's what you see here. Super Shooty Aliens, created with a paint-like program under Linux and just using the mouse and drawing in stuff. And this, which started life as a pencil-drawn alien's head that was converted into a pirate using trickery and kind of cheating and whatnot, because I'm not great at drawing, one Sunday morning, and then scanned using my PC and converted to show up on the CoCo, because I thought it'd be nice to showcase the CoCo the way it can actually do high resolution graphics as well. Now, you are limited to just two colors. You can have it black and green, or you can have it black and white. That's pretty much it when you're using these resolutions. But they also take up an awful lot of memory. So this image here and the previous one you saw are actually bigger than the game code so far. So it's possible that one of these is going to be dropped when the game is completed, because there mightn't be enough kind of memory in the CoCo to stick it all in there. But that being said, I want to show you what I've managed to do on the game so far. So I'm after doing an awful lot. I'm after putting in keyboard and joystick control now. So there's no big thing to kind of choose it. You press fire on your joystick, you've got joystick control. Keyboard does nothing. You press a key on your keyboard, you've got keyboard control, and the joystick does nothing. And it's true for both the Dragon and for the CoCo games. I've managed kind of wiring key combinations and stuff so it'll work on both without any changes to the actual code itself. But let me show you what I've managed to do in this so far. So we will press the key and we have our keyboard game here. So you see the game looks pretty much the same as before, although I have put in alien explosions, as you see there. See, the aliens now explode. And the other thing I've put in is a scoreboard on the right hand side. You get 1 point for each alien you've shot, and that clocks up that way. And on the left hand side of the screen you will see a shield meter that starts green, and as it goes down it turns to yellow and then to red, and finally it disappears, and if you get hit again you'll be dead. And there are two of the things I put in to make it more gamey. And there's one other little thing I've put in here for the moment anyway. I have a pause feature in this game. So you can pause your game and you can go away and make a cup of tea or whatever. And the numbers that you see here are the number of missiles that we've fired and the number of aliens that we've destroyed. And it can, believe it or not, and it's not actually a problem with the code, but you can be after firing way less missiles than you have killed aliens. And the reason for that is that I put in a little feature where sometimes, or well, most of the time, if you're lucky and you destroy an alien and he's exploding and another alien comes across his explosion, he will explode also, and you get a kind of chain reaction of explosions. And that will actually, what it'll do is it'll kind of up your kill count, so you can get like loads of birds with one stone, more or less, is the thing in this. But yeah, what else have I added? You see that the eyes of the aliens look a little bit crap. I'll be honest. They're flickering kind of green, and they were working so well yesterday. I wanted to do a kind of a Cylon thing, like in Battlestar Galactica, where you would have the alien come on and his eye would kind of, you know, like the front of Knight Rider type thing. And it was working really well. And then I decided to get real clever and try a different thing, and I kind of messed up the code, and I haven't really fixed it since, so it's kind of not looking great there at the moment, but I will fix it up. But as you probably saw there, I destroyed a few aliens with just one bullet. So we're after destroying, or we're after firing 27 missiles. We've killed 23 aliens. Now there's one thing I want to show you, so I want to get killed here so that I can show you another little thing that I've been working on. I've been making a kind of a font, or creating an alphabet for this, so you can see that game over is written on screen there, and it's flashing. And also sometimes when the aliens touch it, they get destroyed, because that's a little collision detection thingy that's going on. But this text that I'm displaying on screen, what I'm going to do is I am going to, where am I gone now? Here I am. What I'm going to do is I am going to create the entire alphabet in code so that I can put messages on the screen. So there's going to be a little story running in the background as the game is kind of progressing. And there's going to be 3 sub-levels per level. And level 1 is what you just saw there. We're shooting and shooting and shooting, and eventually what will happen is a little tracker will come down. You pick that up, and then you get to go on to level 2. Level 2, which I will show you in a moment, will be chosen at random. You're either flying from left to right or from right to left and destroying aliens. And you will eventually, if you get far enough through the level, come across a super ship, which you take and then you use in level 3 to destroy the boss. Now, the boss code needs to be done yet. That's the kind of the only main thing in the game that hasn't been kind of finished yet. But let me show you the level 2, what it is at the moment anyway. So we're playing our game. After you have gotten yourself the little tracker device, you will either fly from the right to the left of the screen, destroying these aliens. You'll notice they've been kind of drawn differently to give a little bit of variety. And they're shooting horizontally. That's the thing that took me feckin' ages to try and get it to work. But as you saw there, we had a load of them get destroyed with each other's explosions. So we fired only 4 missiles, and we've destroyed 7 aliens. There will be a kind of a points thing, I'm hoping, you know, that I'll put in, that you get extra points for the difference between the number of shots fired and the number of aliens destroyed. But you see, there is a kind of a timing thing going on in this too. Sometimes you'll actually destroy an entire fleet if you kind of destroy the alien just before it's about to move. And other times, if it's just after moving and you destroy it, you'll only destroy the one and the explosion will be finished before the next guy kind of enters into the frame, more or less. But this is our level 2. The other variation on level 2 I'll show you as soon as these aliens have popped off the screen. So the second one would be this way, where we're flying in the opposite direction, and I've made the alien sprites a little different, and we got like 3 aliens destroyed in one volley there, if you like, and there we only destroyed 1. But I think it's a nice little mechanic, and that was my son Louis who said to me it'd be nice if I had done something like that with the game, you know, just give it a little bit of variety over other games, perhaps. I don't know. But anyway, that is kind of as far as I got on that so far. With the boss level, what I've done is, you see, when you're on level 1, you're locked into the bottom of the screen, and when you're on this level, you're locked into the sides of the screen. But on the boss level, which this will be now, these aliens won't be attacking us at all on the boss level. They're just kind of there at the moment. But on the boss level, we'll be able to move like this, but we'll also be able to exit our ship to try and destroy the boss himself. Because I think what the boss is going to be, he's going to be a large kind of an orb in the middle of the screen or something, and he's going to have a couple of, you know, like in Star Wars where you had to fire the missile down the yoke to get to the reactor, there's going to be kind of 3 openings that you have to fire missiles into, and he's going to be moving constantly, and there's going to be aliens or a force field or something that's constantly going around him and getting regenerated. So you'll be able to shoot it to get a kind of hole to kind of shoot into the reactor, but then the force field will kind of be replenished, and there'll be a bit of a challenge there. But that has yet to be done. You notice the way the aliens are crashing into the game over and getting destroyed and the points are going up? That's a little bit of a bug, and it's the way I did collision detection. Sometimes Game Over changes the colour of player missiles and the aliens get destroyed. That's more or less it. But yeah, what I want to do is in the code, which is actually after getting gigantic now at this stage. There's probably quite a bit of redundant code in here as well, if I'm honest. But what I would like to do is to create an entire font. So far I've only done enough letters to allow me to display game over on screen, and also the numbers 0 through 9 to display a score. But I'd like to finish up the alphabet so that I can put like you know, a kind of a story going in the background, that you're patrolling whatever, and then these aliens arrive and you get a message from HQ or whatever, and you have to go try and find the tracker, and then you get your tracker and this little message that you need the EVA to go to the destination. You know, these kind of things that come up on screen don't really stop the action as such, and that's pretty much that. But as you can see, there is a lot of code in here now. As I say, some of it probably is redundant, because as I'm writing the stuff, I kind of get different ideas, and you see all this stuff here. These are the diagonal bullets. The code is still there, but I took them out. Diagonal shooting doesn't exist in the game anymore. But this here is the joystick reading code. So it's reading the joystick from the is it from the PIAs they're called? I think, I can't remember what they're called in the CoCo, but it's reading the joysticks anyway from those, and it is code that I lifted directly, copy and pasted directly from the Unraveled series of books for the CoCo. So this is the actual joystick code, as you see here, from Unraveled, but I've modified it to make it a little bit faster and to work the way I want it to work. And instead of jumping to the ROM routine, it'll jump here in code, which means that it works great for the Dragon as well. And what I've done as well is for the Dragon, if I can find it now quickly, because I'm not sure exactly where I put it. Probably won't be able to find it now. But there are keystrokes that they would be down in the control section. Hang on 2 seconds. If I search for control and I work my way through, you're probably wondering why I'm using this kind of crappy text editor that has really no features whatsoever. And I'll be honest with you, the reason I use it is that it forces you to think. And as you're going through the code the whole time, you can get really familiar with where things are and how your own code is working, more or less. That's more or less what's happening. But yeah, I'm not really sure where I want to go. This is control here. I go down to, we'll go to fire button here, for example. Maybe this here might show up what I want to show you. No, it won't, but this left one here will. No, it won't either. No, I wanted to show you a thing, and I don't know. Ah, here we are. Okay, look. Here is how you would read the keyboard for the left arrow. We're loading A with DF, which is a value. I don't remember how the heck it works. I read it out of a book, but I don't remember how it works. But what we do anyway is we load A with a value, and then we store that value into a register on the actual PIA itself. And then we load another value into A, and we AND it with 7F. And if after that ANDing operation has been done, the value that we have is hex 77, it means that the left arrow key has been pressed. Now that works for the CoCo, but there is a change for the Dragon, whereas for the Dragon we need to compare A, in this part here, with 5F and not 77. And if that's equal, then the arrow key has been pressed. So this here will check. If you're running on a CoCo, it'll show that arrow key has been pressed. If you're running on a Dragon, this will work for that. If that makes any sense to you at all. But that's kind of the way I integrated code for both Dragon and for CoCo kind of together. And it seems to work fairly well. So there you go. But yeah, after that kind of yoke you through the code a bit as well, that's pretty much as far as I've gotten. I don't think there's too much else that I want to share with you. Really, the only thing to do now is to sort out the alphabet and then to put in a few messages or whatever. But really the big one is to sort up the boss level. That's the big one to do now. So I'm not 100% sure how exactly I'm going to do that. It's going to take a bit of time to do as well. But I'm hoping to get this thing pretty much finished for Christmas. That's what I'm hoping to do. And yeah, and then I'll make it available to you all. Well, what we'll do is I'll send it to a few people I know and see if they can find bugs with it, which I'm sure they will, and see if I can sort those out, and you know, whatever. But anyway, I should be back to you in another week or two. Anyway, hopefully I'll do another update now, because even if I only get the alphabet together, you know, I'll have something to kind of show and explain to you. So in about a week's time, hopefully, I should be back again. Until then, take good care of yourselves, and yeah, see ya. Bye bye.